Hey everybody, Big V here. We're talking sales funnels today and we're talking teams. So what the heck is a sales funnel and how do you use them in real estate? Well, let's just get into it. So first I want to talk about a sales funnel. And before I get into that, I'm going to tell you that at the very end of this program, I'm going to give you a tool, a resource that you can use as a sales funnel attraction magnet. It's called our Verified Contingency Sell Program that you can use when you market your real estate practice. And it's the beginning of the process of giving something of value that gets people engaged. So not only am I going to tell you about it, I'm going to give you something that you can actually use. Okay, so let's get into it. So what is a sales funnel? A sales funnel begins by giving something of value to something where they'll give you something in return. Usually the thing you get in return is their name and their email address. If you're really good and their value is even higher, they may give you a phone number and ways that you can connect them on social media. The better the offer, the better the information exchange. The whole concept between a sales funnel is value for value. See, a lot of agents make the mistake of creating a website. And let me give you an example of this. Here's my website. You can go in and do a search. But before any properties come up, you have to tell me who you are. You haven't earned the right to ask me for my information. I was on a site recently. I was looking for, I'll call it Bear Lake cabins. And I was looking for cabin properties and I went into the site and the site came in and it showed me 5 or 6 really great cabins. And then I clicked on more information. And because the cabins were so good, I wanted the more information. Then came the information exchange and said, tell me who you are. I said, I'm Big V. And so giving him my information, knowing I'm a real estate agent, I knew an agent was going to call and follow up. But because their site was so good and the value they gave me was so high, I was able to give them something back in return. So here's the question to ask. When people go to your sites, when they engage in your property searches, when they download something of value, are you giving them so much value that they don't mind telling you who they are? With great analytics on your websites, and you can use Google Analytics and other tools and resources that will give you this information, you can tell when somebody comes to your site and when they leave. Are they leaving during the information exchange? If so, change the offer or change where it shows up or give more value before you ask them who they are. A funnel has several stages, so let me go through and share with you a few of those stages. The first stage is, I'll call it awareness. And this is where the customer becomes aware of your business. Who are you? I'm a real estate agent that serves this area. During this phase, it could happen through a marketing campaign. It could be through your reels or your social media. It could just because you have properties listed. But it's the awareness. They've never heard of you. They don't know who you are. It's the awareness phase. Could even be word of mouth. Somebody goes in and searches for you, and now they found you. The next phase is interest. Now they've heard about you. Now they've got interest. Are they interested in you or are they interested in a home? I found that people don't generally care about me. They care about themselves. And so what is it about your information exchange that gives them what they want instead of what you want them to know? That's a really deep concept. Most real estate agents think they matter in the transaction, but the reality is we're just a tool in the process. And so by finding out what a client wants and then serving it up to them, giving them what they want, they become interested in who you are, not the other way around. Tell them who you are and then they're going to be interested in what you want. Nobody cares who you are. And if you have that attitude of serving regardless of opportunity, then people will tell you who they are. So once they show interest and you've given them real value, then what I call as a choice point, or it's part of the process where a decision happens. And at this stage, customers are thinking about actually making a purchase or signing up for your service or asking you to show them a home. In this decision process, this is where oftentimes they might be comparing the services you offer to somebody else's. They might want to know what commissions you charge. They want to know, are your services going to exceed what you charge for the services you give? What's the value proposition? And then the last part of a sales funnel is where action happens. And that's when they make the decision to either purchase or engage or to say, let's go. And so there's companies in real estate that I've learned do a great job at sales funnels. And so let me give you some examples of why I think they're great. And you can look at them, you can consider them. I think one of the best ones is our best friend and our worst enemy. It's a lot of people make a lot of money with them, but they continue to encroach more and more and more and more on the money that we make as real estate agents because this company has done a better job at identifying customers and creating a sales funnel that gets them closer to where they're making a purchase. You know who I'm talking about? Yep, Zillow. So Zillow has focused on what consumers wanted that realtors weren't able to give them. The consumer wanted to know the value of their property. And so Zillow, when they first came out, didn't have all the most accurate information, but they continued to get more data, to raise more money, to find more resources, to get more information, to become more close to the actual value of a property. And so consumers would go there because they couldn't get it from realtors because we all kept it secret in our MLSs, and Zillow decided they were going to give the consumer what they wanted instead of what we want as realtors. And they gave them the value of their property. By doing that, it created more eyeballs looking for homes, and they gave them homes for sale, and then they gave them their value, and then they said, okay, if this is what you want, would you like someone to show you that home? They then started to get people who understood their value, as looking at what's on the market, and now they want to look at a home, and so they found a consumer that was closer to making a transaction. And by finding that consumer in their sales funnel that was closer to make a transaction, the value of that lead became greater. For first, they would sell it as a premier agent. You would spend $500, then $5,000, then $10,000 a month generating Zillow leads. And then they came out with their Zillow Flex program. The Zillow Flex program started with 25 and then 30, 35, and now 40% of the commission goes to Zillow when they directly refer and qualify that lead before sending it to an agent. The simple concept of how they work is understanding the sales funnel. If you want to get better at giving the consumer what they want, study how Zillow does it, because they do a great job. Whether you like them or don't like them, it doesn't really matter. They're collecting and they're creating great opportunities. The problem is the lead flow that comes in from Zillow is like crack, and agents that rely heavily on those leads coming in and don't focus on the other three pillars of their business, if Zillow ever turns them off, what happens is they lose all their money and they don't know how to generate revenue. My advice to you, if you're using Zillow as a lead source, is to make sure that you build three other pillars and that Zillow can be no more than 25% of the total revenue. With hyper-local targeting, one of my favorite companies is a company called CINC. Commissions Inc. They're owned by Fidelity. What CINC does is they use unbelievable data, and as a Google partner, they're able to customize searches and algorithms to identify the buying and selling behaviors of the ultimate consumer. And because Fidelity closes as much as 40% of all the transactions, it gives them insight into the behavior aspects of buyers and sellers today. Our agents that use CINC as a lead funnel give an unbelievable IDX website with great map-based searching, giving consumers what they want, but the cost of lead is so much lower than using something like Zillow. And when you understand the conversion process and how long and what you should expect, CINC has done something that blows my mind, and that's created a guaranteed program, meaning if you don't get the results that more than double what you spend on the program, and you have to look at CINC's real policies for this, they'll continue to give you the platform for free for another year. They will make sure that if you do the activities that they teach you, that they have a guaranteed sell program, so it makes it very difficult not to make money with it. Other companies like Boomtown and others also do a good job. What CINC uses, let me give you a couple of things. They use a proprietary demographic targeting set. Their real estate terms and agents are proactively target potential leads who have behavior using artificial intelligence that identify that they're getting closer to making a move in their home. That proprietary information is lead generation, it's the landing pages, it's the funnels, it's the communication style, it's the tracking that a team leader can then divvy up to their agents and watch what's going on and have predictable revenue. I'm going to say that lead generation and lead funnels are critical. Every real estate agent, broker, and team should have very specific strategies on how they're going to generate leads. They need to focus on giving real value to the client, and then by giving value, you can get the information you want, who is the client, and then follow up with them using a proven system for lead conversion. In another video, we're going to talk about how to convert those leads and put it on steroids. Right now, what I'd like you to do is like you to write to the download right below here, and I want you to download a link to our partner network called CINC and just check them out. Go look at their guaranteed sell program, talk to one of their business analysts, and see if your team would be a good fit for CINC. Let's get in sync and let's create some new funnels.